Good morning, friends, or rather, should I say good afternoon, friends? We are going to have a wonderful lecture today on the communication skills. But first, we have to go to the fundamentals of communication, understand the theory, the need, the purpose of communication. I will now ask my colleague Sarvaya Saab to join in and let's begin. Let's set the ball rolling.
Thank you, madam. Today we are going to talk on and about communication, as you see on your slide. First of all, let us try to understand what the word communication means and what's its origin. Look at the slide. The word communication comes from the word communicare or communis. The meaning of that is to share. It means when you communicate, you share something. This much we understand by this slide. Now, before this, we go on and about communication, and we talk a lot about communication today. I want you to feel little interested in the discussion we are going to take in hand of. Before that, we will see a beautiful PowerPoint presentation which indicates the hidden meaning of communication in it. Look at the slide. A young lady was waiting for her flight in the boarding room of a big airport. As she had to wait for hours, she decided to buy a book to spend her time. She bought a packet of cookies. She sat down on an armchair in the VIP room of the airport to rest and read in peace. And what happens? Beside the armchair where the packet of cookies were kept, a man sat down, opened his magazine and started reading. When she ate the first cookies, the man also took one. She felt infuriated but didn't say anything, being civilized. She just thought, what a nerve. If in mood, I would have punched his eye so that he would not forget this daring. To her surprise, each cookie she ate, the man ate another one. That was letting her fume up with large, but she couldn't react. When only one cookie, the last cookie, left, she thought, what will this abused man do now? Then the man divided the last cookie through the middle, giving her the other half, offering the other half the same cookie, the last cookie. That was too much. She was too angry. Then she caught her book, caught her things, and headed to the boarding place. When she sat down on her seat in the plane, she looked into her purse to take her eyeglasses, spectacles, and for her surprise, her packet of cookies which she purchased from the airport was still there in the purse, untouched, closed. My, she felt so ashamed of herself. She realized that she was doing the wrong thing. She had forgotten that her cookies were kept in her purse. The man divided his cookies. It was his packet of cookies. And he was dividing, sharing it with her without feeling infuriated, nervous, or mad. She is repenting while she was very mad, thinking that he was dividing her cookies. And there was no more time to explain herself. There was no time to apologize.
Now there are 4 things that you can't recover. That's the message of this slide.
Let's look at those 4 things one by one.
Look
Let's
at the
go back
slide,
to
please.
the slide.
The stone after shot. The word after pronounced. The occasion after lost.
Absolutely.
and the time after gone.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
So what do you say, Shobha? How did you like it?
This was beautiful. The slide taught me one thing. This PowerPoint presentation taught me one thing. Something about communication. What is it?
See, we have a nice comprehensive definition of communication like we're seeing it on our slide. That it is a process of exchange of thoughts, ideas, opinions or knowledge between two or more individuals.
That's right. I believe the slide that we saw was also in the same league. Communication definitely is a process of an exchange of thoughts, ideas, feelings. That means, I believe, Rebecca, that we need words, we need language. That is the vital necessity in order to communicate, isn't it?
Absolutely. Because even we had seen that PPT slide, if she had communicated
Exactly.
and clarified the matter that the packet of cookies belonged to her or him, would have cleared the whole problem.
That's
now
right.
she is repenting, but the time has gone.
Gone.
Communication matters a lot in our life. We all understand that.
Now, like the way you suggested that it's about individuals only, and individuals you meant about human beings only, and you said only words, Shubha,
Only
right?
words, yes.
I have something to share with you, and that takes us back in time. That is a history of communication.
Uh-huh.
I think most
In
of
what
our
way?
viewers would be surprised to know that when communication started, at that point of time there were no words.
Okay.
People communicated through things like cave paintings. You can see it on your slide. These were the ancient forms.
Wow.
Oh, that's a
And,
pigeon.
We'll quickly have a look at the cave paintings as well.
All right.
These cave paintings, and after that we have the petroglyphs. So people used to use these cave paintings, they used to use rocks and caves to communicate or leave a message. And after that it transformed into pictograms. Pictograms wherein people use images, like you're seeing on the right of your slide. You can see these images. They were used to communicate an idea or a message or even about an object for that matter.
Okay.
And most interestingly, it's not only about art in terms of visual art.
Okay.
People even use sound, as in music, to communicate.
Right.
And that happened through the talking drum.
Talking drum.
Yes, talking drum.
Okay.
Now, this didn't have a tongue and didn't speak like us, but then this talking drum was basically started in Africa. It was
Okay.
used by the Nigerians. Now, what happened is that they had, if you can listen to the audio,
Okay, these drums are
this
being
talking
played.
drum basically was made out of fish, lizard and snake skin.
Oh my.
And it was in a hourglass shape.
Okay.
And every time they wanted to communicate about whether an enemy was coming or whether they were hungry or they wanted a meeting,
Okay.
they used to play these drums. And people understood this language even
Alright.
before speech came into use.
But
Yes.
I think why in ancient times the human beings were communicating this way. Communication, I think, applies to the animals also.
Acha, it
Animals.
is
Don't
not only
Yes.
animals
beings.
communicate?
Of course they do.
They
Yes,
do.
they
Animals also communicate. And the elephants, they say they are the best communicators.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The low frequency sounds.
Sounds
the
and
booming
Exactly. Have you heard
Yes.
about the dolphins? Dolphins,
Dolphins
communicate
also
very
communicate.
well.
Sharks,
They communicate very well.
whales. That's right.
We have a very interesting video of a bird
Okay.
who is communicating, though this is an imitation of the human sound, but it will be very interesting. Just let us look at the video clip. A parrot is communicating, rather imitating. It's very interesting. Please have a look at this.
Can we have the audio?
Right. Einstein, are you excited? All right. Tell everybody your name. Oh, she's getting ready. She's got to clear her throat. Can you tell them your name? Einstein. Yes, Einstein. Say hi. Can you say hi? Hello. That's nice. But be polite. That's sweetheart. That's much better. Okay, let's start off with some animal sounds first. Can you do? Okay, got to clear your throat. Let's do a wolf. Good. How about a bird? Can you do a bird? Good. Can you do an owl? Good, owl. How about a rooster? How about a penguin? Can you do a penguin? It's a little bitty penguin for you. How about a chimpanzee? Good Good job, Einstein. Can you do a pig? Sometimes they get chunky. You think they need to go on a diet? How about diet? There you go. How about some tigers from the jungle? Yeah, they growl. What about a skunk? Stinker. Okay. Let's do some sound effects too. Spaceship. Good. Good. Spaceship with the laser. Yeah. Can you fall down? There you go. It's a little splat at the end. Does that hurt? Ow, ow, ow. Yeah. Maybe could you whisper? That's good. How about evil? Good job, Einstein. Let's sing some opera. Let's sing some opera. There you go. Can you toot? Oh. Ooh, Einstein, this is a lot of hard work. Is this a lot of hard work? Yeah, it's gonna wear you out. But we're not done yet. What do you think? No, we know more. How about fiesta? All right. Go crazy for everybody. Can you go crazy? Go crazy. Woo! All right, she loves to party. So can you just get down? Let's get down. Come on. Yeah, there you go. That must wear you out. You need something to drink? Here. No, you don't drink beer. You drink water. That's much better. All right, but you're going to have to wait till later because I have a problem. What's the matter? What's the matter? You lost my dog. Can you call the dog? Come here. Come here. Good.
Ah, that was
believe
very funny.
All of us sitting in the studio, we must clap for
Clap
the
for
parrot.
them.
Yeah, that
there.
was really.
It was a lovely way.
Lovely.
Now, we have talked about humans communicating in the old way. We have talked about the parrots, the birds. We just saw it. What a beautiful presentation that was. But I have something else to say, friends. It's not only humans, the early humans who were communicating. It was not only the birds who were communicating, but even the flora, flowers and trees were also communicating.
Oh, they even do.
They
even
still do.
Yeah,
They still do. For example, in this kind of a verdure, the forest that you see there, some kind of a plant growth, if you start playing music in that atmosphere, you can experiment it yourself, kids. You can go home and probably start talking to your plants. Plants have known to grow faster, healthier, if music is played in the surroundings or communication is done to them in some or the other way.
There's a research on that, if I'm not mistaken. There's
Okay.
a scientific research. I
Okay.
mean, you're just talking about.
And
About
the best example, I believe, is Kishore Kumar.
Oh yes, of
the
course.
great singer.
The great.
Oh, he's
He
no
had,
more with
yeah.
us, but he used to have this habit, I believe.
Yes, he had plants and trees in his backyard and every day, and he
Okay.
had named them. They were given names like Chandrasekhar
the
and
trees?
Yeah, yes, they were
Okay.
given names.
Okay.
And every morning he used to try and communicate with them,
Okay.
talk to them, play music for them, and then they would grow healthier, faster, like just
I think
like the way you said.
well-known scientist Jagdish Chandra Bose experimented
Ah,
this.
Jesse
Oh,
Bose, you're
yes, of
absolutely
course,
correct.
he
Yeah,
did.
that's
Jagdish
Best
Chandra
example.
Bose.
Yeah, that's what I was heading
Okay.
when I said there was a scientific researchers as well.
So ultimately, I think communication is any behavior that results in an exchange of meaning.
Meaning.
Okay. So whatever the language is, could it be sign language? Could it be words? Could it be music? Could it be anything? Ultimately, what we, including all the animals,
I have a slight question, Sarvaiya Sahab. I guess all of us sitting here in the studio and all my friends watching us have agreed on the fact that communication has existed since the very ancient days. But my question now is, how do we actually communicate? How do we transfer the meaning? Actually, how do we get it telecast or broadcast? How do we actually get across?
for that we have to understand the process of communication.
So I believe my friends also are waiting for the process of communication.
Absolutely. And in process of communication, ultimately we will come to the transferring of a meaning at last. Look at the slide, please.
Now, like you look at this presentation, as in this slide, and you would understand that we have a messenger here, we have a sender here, and there is a receiver. And there is
Yeah.
some message that has to be communicated.
That's
and
right.
this can be done using different mediums. It can be through a mail, as in a letter, or it could be through a mass medium, for example, television,
Alright.
or it could be through a face-to-face conversation or through the phone call.
That's right.
So this is the way how the meaning gets communicated from the sender to the receiver with the help of these mediums. Do you agree to this?
Yes,
I'm
I
sure,
agree.
but I too agree. But from the receiver to the
No, from
sorry,
the sender
from the
to
sender
the receiver.
receiver, there is, I'm sure, a specific process that is being
There is a
followed.
process. Look at the slide once again, please, friends. See, I have a question also, Rebecca.
Okay.
See, here you have shown that messenger sends the message and receives
Receives
it.
it,
Okay.
yes.
But I think, how would he say? I have an idea. I have something to say, to
Yes.
express. Okay. I have an idea, and I want to communicate it to the person. Okay, who is sitting before me. Won't it happen? Say, for example, I say, "Bonjour, monsieur. Comment tu t'appelles?"
That's
Okay,
absolutely.
now the receiver
I can't
will,
understand this.
now
Yes.
receiver will think that, how is it possible? I mean, I don't understand the meaning of it. So,
That's right.
so I think when messenger sends the message and receivers receives it, there
Okay.
has to be some common medium, a language.
Otherwise, we have
Some
a nice
language needs
confused
to be
face
there.
like that.
Exactly.
Yes,
Otherwise,
yes,
it will look
absolutely
exactly like
confused.
that face of,
Alright.
So it's a process. Communication is a process, and we need to understand the word process first.
Okay.
What is process? Process is a series of activities. Okay. A chain is there. It's not an event like this, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So it requires a common medium. That medium is a language.
All right.
Okay.
Now, what language is? Language we have to understand from the broad sense. Language where we use words.
Okay.
Sometimes language we don't use words. When
Okay.
we use the words, that is called the verbal
Verbal
language.
language, okay.
And when we
Okay.
don't use the words, that is the
Is
non-verbal
non-verbal
language.
language.
But that verbal language or the non-verbal language has to be common. So, for example, if I'm doing this, okay, look at the sign, right?
Okay.
When I do
Superb.
this, right? When I do this, it looks beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, say for an example, this is beautiful in India.
That's right.
Nice, good. But if you go to Japan and do this, there's a sign of currency.